Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of Science Fair, a story of mystery, danger, international suspense, and a very nervous frog, by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson, performed by Phil Gigante. We dedicate this book to the students, also the teachers. Also, while we're at it, the frog. Chapter 1. 5 large, hairy men were gathered for a top-secret meeting in a bunker under the presidential palace in the city of Kurpst. Kurpst, pronounced Kurpst, was the capital of the Republic of Kurpstskan, a poor, mountainous nation with few vowels and a population of 4 million, including goats. The 5 were very powerful men, at least for Kurpstskan. The oldest and largest and hairiest man, known as Gigante the Strong, was the president, a position he had won in a national election contest against nobody. His campaign slogan had been, "Vote for Gigante or die." The other 4 men were Kurpstskan's first, second, third, and fourth vice presidents, who also happened to be the president's brothers. Their job was to agree with the president at all times. These 5 men were looking over the shoulder of a very thin and very nervous young man seated at a computer. The young man's name was Vrsk, and he held the lofty title of Kurpstskan Minister of Technology. Vrsk had been appointed to this post because he was the only person in Kurpstskan who could work the official government computer, which was the only working computer in Kurpstskan. At the moment, the screen was dark. "Why is it taking so long?" barked Gigante the Strong, speaking in the Kurpst language, which has been compared to the sound of a duck burping. The first, second, third, and fourth vice presidents nodded vigorously and frowned to indicate that they, too, thought it was taking too long. "It's booting up," said Vrsk. "It takes a while. It's Windows 98. I tried to upgrade to Vista, but the processor—" "No more talking," said Gigante the Strong, who did not like to hear people say things that he did not understand. "Turn it on." Vrsk turned back to the computer screen, relieved to see that it was now flickering to life. His relief turned to horror when he saw that he had failed to disable his usual screensaver, which was a picture of Halle Berry in her Catwoman suit. Gigante the Strong looked at the screen, grunted, and said in English, Catwoman." The 4 vice presidents nodded in agreement and said, Catwoman." Vrsk, relieved that nobody was going to hit him, at least for now, clicked the computer mouse and opened a web browser. He was pleased to see that the internet connection, it was the only one in Kurpstskan, was working. Manipulating the mouse, he opened a map site. An image of Earth, seen from space, came into view. Vrsk centered the window over eastern North America, then began to zoom in, closer and closer, until the sprawling metropolis of Washington, D.C. filled the screen. He zoomed in closer until individual buildings could be easily recognized. One by one, he showed the president close-up aerial views of the Capitol, the White House, and the Pentagon. The president nodded. The 4 vice presidents nodded also. Vrsk then zoomed out a bit and began to pan north on the screen window. He stopped over a Maryland suburb just outside the Washington city limit, then zoomed in until the screen was filled with a large building complex surrounded by parking lots and athletic fields. "There," he said. Gigante the Strong frowned at the screen. "You are sure?" he said. "This is the place." Vrsk checked a sheet of paper next to the computer. "I am sure," he said. Gigante the Strong nodded and turned to his vice presidents. "It is very close to the American government," he said, "just as Prmkt told us." The vice presidents nodded in agreement. Gigante the Strong turned back.